Okay, fine.
Dokimasu wa watashi wa ikemen desu ka?
Okay, fine.
Dokimasu wa watashi wa ikemen desu ka?
And a good Saturday morning to you.
Hey, Paul Pizzuti.
My smile, my spit.
I'm getting through my lines, folks.
I think the worst part for me is when you're talking. That sounds really stupid.
Start out here, blah, 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 and then I'm gonna say, on the basketball court, and Watterson wants revenge, blah, 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 blah.
Just don't lean towards me. You could say this stupid line so many times.
Thanks, Quinn. Have a safe trip back. Happy New Year, everybody.
It didn't make sense. You little snot.
My brain's freezing.
And a good Saturday morning to you. Sorry. Top of the day to you, and welcome to this very special edition of the Sports Show. Get it right, Hall. Let's go.
Yes, you will.
Oh, I'll stand by. And a good Saturday morning to you, Matt. My bad. You see the school, your school, any school, some school. I messed that up. And watch for our Columbus Dispatch High School show. It's, my mouth is not working. That's all under, isn't it? So much for that start. Let's kick it off with a report from Kevin Roush on last night's battle between Westland and Franklin Heights. Kevin, your time to shine.
Excuse me, I'm seamless.
Well, I'll tell you, it's really nice to be able to have the voice that I do, and I'm able to bring that to the television. It sounds so much better after they put it through production.
Our first nominee, Big Walnut's Robbie Stover, throws a sideline pass to Mike Castle, who makes the grab and nearly takes out yours truly.
But I'm just pleased as punch in working with you and Billy and everybody. Gosh, it's a dream come true. I was on the streets, living in my car, and you guys found me, and it's been fun. Thanks.
What about Paul Quinn?
Paul Quinn and I were friends, and I remember when Paul said, when I lost all my money and my family, and Paul was very nice, and he said, if I ever needed to warm up, I could sleep on the porch, and I really appreciated that. He's a pal.
Let me tell you, you won't find a better group of semi-professionals than these guys right here. Kevin Rao, the voice of the sports show, and you can see why.
Thank you, Paul.
He's the man. Of course, have you already seen Mr. Demarest over here, editor extraordinaire? We don't know what he does, but he looks at that computer a lot.
And he swears at it.
Well, I wasn't going to get into that, but that's accurate. And of course, do not forget the real heart of the sports show at the foot of your cameraman here, Killian.
How do you feel, Killian? Who's that?
It is a land of nothing but professionals here at the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show. I almost forgot what show we were at today. I am here joined by my colleagues, Paul, no small man, Quinn.
It's not the Rat Pack, it's the Yak.
Andrea, don't look at me, Cruzy. Magic Ultramat Demarest. And some poor loser bum that doesn't know what kind of socks to wear, Kevin Rao.
I would like to note for the camera that despite the long hours and the incredible amount of work that we keep very clean working conditions here. If the camera could just look around, everything is in order. Everything, you'll never know we were even here.
Matt Demarest right over here. And Matt, if we could just take you away for a second. Matt, one of the editors, in fact, an extraordinary editor, if I might say so. And Matt, one of the things that we certainly like to see you do is to put this whole show together. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
First, I put that red button.
The red one.
The red one, turn that on.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a wire back there you got to plug in behind here.
And so you need to walk back behind there, apparently, to do that.
Yes, I walk back behind there and I plug the wire in.
Now that's cutting, well, right at the cutting edge of technology, apparently, here at Shaw.
Yeah, wires.
Cool. And of course, a lot of places are not using wires.
Thanks again, Kevin. We appreciate the fine work you've done all year. And now let's go to the big game. Gosh, dang it. Yeah, read the prompter, Hall. Can't get out of the sand trap. Foss. Yeah. Maybe not. Spike Shaw, money all the time.
The question is, can Hilliard give payback? I'm ready. 3, 2, and 1. Doki maska wa tashi wa desk wa boki kwa tunakatagenda sekanakas. Motates motoatans times Bexley Motates 8116 Whitehall. Thank you. 3, 2, and 1. We're here in the we're not here in the cheerleader. 3, 2, 1. We're here in the studio with the 1999 Cheerleaders of the Year, the Hilliard-Davidson Cheerleading Squad. We're going to introduce them. 3, 2, 1. We're here in the studio with the cheerleaders. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Some English teacher will be watching, and if that's all right. See, it just is not working today.
That's really good, Billy. Anyway, now it's time for the Team of the Week, brought to you by Stanley Steamer and the Stanley Steeper Carpet Studios.
Stanley Steeper. The first year's been a good one, and the parents are proud. No one came home missing any teeth. For the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show, I'm Billy Shaw. On behalf of the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show,
have a safe and happy Halloween!
Gotta be quicker than that. You. False start on the offense. Delay. I'm sorry. They do a 5 o'clock news here. Let's see if you can move it along, Clay.
I'm here at Hagley Football Field, where earlier this season we brought you the big game between these two on the gridiron, where DeSales went on to win the game and went on. Oh, come on, Billy. But now, well, but Watterson wants revenge because DeSales also beat him crap. This year, Watterson's ready to come back. On behalf of all of our sponsors and everybody involved with the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show,
we wish you all a safe and happy holiday season. Yay!
You ever need help from the sports medicine doctors?
Sure, everybody gets hurt sometime, and the best place to go is the Grant Riverside Medical Places, and they're fun, and they're big hospitals, and they're white.
I'm having a rough day today, and I'm not in makeup, so don't give me any shit. All right? Now, I'm tired of these kids, this Billy Shawhead, whatever his name is, and this Andrea Boozy, Woozy, Cruzy, Floozy, coming in here screwing with my show, I go down to New Orleans and have a few beers and get a little opie, but I come back and I'm still on top of the game, mister, and nobody's gonna knock me off of this rock.
Didn't like that, sorry. Change your name, kid.
Alan Sinnott of Brookhaven High School is our Achiever of the Year because he's stepped beyond. Oh yeah, okay. Alan Sinnott was named our Achiever of the Year because of his God. Alan Sinnott of Brookhaven High. 3, 2, 1. Alan Sinnott of Brookhaven High School was named our Achiever of the Year because of his determination to step beyond his troubled surround. Okay. Alan Sinnott of Brookhaven High School is our Achiever of the Year because of his determination to step out beyond. I don't know what I'm saying. He plans with his scholarship to come here to Capital University. I cannot. Alan is our Achiever of the Year because he stepped. Okay. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense. After I said it, it didn't make sense. Jeff turned his wrestling career around by strengthening not only his body, but his mind too. And he'll walk away with more than just a winning record this season. He realized that by learning to overcome obstacles here in the obstacle course. Okay. He realized that by learning to overcome obstacles here on the wrestling mat. This is my last time, I swear. I'm not doing it anymore. Jeff turned his wrestling career around by strengthening not only his body, but his mind too. And he'll go. This is my last time, I swear. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. He can take on just about anything that comes his way.
Stick around because when we come back, Andrew's going to tell you about this week's Germain Toyota High School Sports Achiever. Won't you?
You bet.
Did I say won't you? I said won't you? Won't you? It sounds weird. Won't you?
I know. Won't you correct me?
Won't you?
I sure will.
I'm going to say, stick around because when we come back, Andrew's going to tell you about this week's Germain Toyota High School Sports Achiever. Won't you?
I sure will.
It's more natural to say won't you, not won't you. What'd I say? Won't you?
Take
Won't
three.
you? Won't you?
Stand by.
Sounds really.
Still rolling.
Won't.
Won't you?
Stick around because when we come back, Andrea Cruzy, 3, 2, 1. Stick around because when we come, I can't say stick around because when we. 3, 2, 1. Stick around because when, oh my God. 3, 2, 1. Stick around because when we come back, Andrea will tell us about this week's Dramon. I was getting it out all the way, and we have to do one more. Stick around because when we come back, stop.
Stay.
Hammer time.
Take.
Happy scrogging.
When you play football at Arlington, 3, 2, 1. When you play football at 3, 2, 1. When you played football at Arlington, would you have been a study hall of fame?
Just regroup. Hang on.
It's called Cottonmouth. We've been here all day.
So, Billy, when you played football at Arlington, would you have been a candidate for the fucking A? I
You
hate
don't
this
cuss.
Stupid.
Did you hear that? She doesn't cuss. Oh my gosh, and it's on tape. You don't cuss.
I'm going to send a copy of that.
When you played high school in football, would you have been a candidate for the study hall of shame?
Well, I didn't play high school. I didn't play high school when I was in football.
See, this sounds stupid. I feel stupid saying it. It sounds dumb.
I butchered it. I feel like such a fairy.
Pretty good, really.
Now, when I was in high school, I might have been a great candidate for the Athlete of the Week.
Really?
Yeah, I led the team in tackles, interceptions, fumble recoveries, fumbles, give up passes, and I got to do this again?
Give that passes.
Give up passes.
Wait for a minute.
Really?
Yeah, I led the team in tackles, interceptions, fumbles, splinters from the bench, you name it, I got it.
That's really good, Billy. Now, oops.
I finally get through it.
Good line.
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. Sounds like.
One.
Well, that wraps things up for this week's show. Well, that wraps things up for this week's show.
Be sure to tune in. Be sure.
Well, that'll do it for this week's show.
Be sure to tune in next week for this.
One.
Well, that'll do it for this week's show.
Be sure to tune in next Saturday.
Okay?
Stand by.
That'll do it for this week's show.
Wait, what did I say? Be sure. What do I say?
I don't know.
So what are you gonna do the rest of the year?
That one's good.
Fondle my earlobes.
Good. Doesn't matter.
You're pretty fly for a white guy.
Well, this concludes the inaugural season of the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have as well. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the schools, all the people behind the scenes at the Dispatch, Shaw Video Communications, and here at WSYX Television that have made this show possible, and most of all, to the athletes. Thanks for the memories. We plan to be back with you in the fall for another 30 weeks of high school sports action. In the meantime, stick with Channel 6, their sports team, Ray Crawford, Anthony Rothman, yours truly, and your Columbus Dispatch to get everything you need to know about the world of high school sports. I'm Clay Hall. Thanks for watching. This week on the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show, a look at some of the most highly regarded football teams and players in Central Ohio. Plus, reports on the top high school golf, tennis, cross country, and volleyball players. It's all coming up on this edition of the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show.
The Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show. He's going down the right sideline. He's on that.
Today's show is brought to you by Germain Toyota, Grand Riverside Methodist Hospitals, McDonald's, Stanley Steamer, and Valvoline and Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
And a good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to the maiden voyage of the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show. We'll bring you the best in Central Ohio high school sports every Saturday morning at 11:30 for the next 30 weeks. We at Channel 6 are very excited about our partnership with the Columbus Dispatch. This week, we'll preview the upcoming fall season of high school sports. At this time of year, hope springs eternal, and in just 3 months, we'll know who truly is championship material and who will be looking to turn things around for 1999. Joining me today to share his thoughts, an expert. This guy knows his stuff. Columbus Dispatch reporter Steve Blackledge. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Clay. All of us at the Dispatch are really looking forward to the high school sports show as another service to our readers.
As are we. Steve, as you survey the landscape in high school football for 1998, some teams have to stand out that will play well this season.
Clay, one of this year's best teams was one of last year's as well. The Upper Arlington Golden Bears reached the state semifinals last year and returned a whole crop of senior players, especially on the offense side of the ball.
Jesse Klein, a proven tailback.
Oh, he was a 2,300-yard rusher last year, and he is already committed to Ohio State and is clearly one of the top players in the state.
What about Worthington Kilbourne, who reached the playoffs last season? They played well also.
Kilbourne surprised a lot of folks last year. They won their first 12 games last year, and they've got almost everybody back on the offensive side of the ball this year, and Jeff Gafford is just a tremendous coach.
DeSales won its second Division III state title last season, a last-second field goal against Youngstown Cheney. Very thrilling there. Can the Stallions repeat?
DeSales is a traditional powerhouse. They do not rebuild, they just simply reload. They've got a great defense, and led by Grant Bowman, and they will be back again this year.
Anybody we might have missed?
Well, I think 2 teams to watch, especially for pure excitement, will be Briggs with their exciting running back Jerome Buckner, and Granville, which returns that explosive offense.
Steve Blackledge, thanks for your insights, my friend.
My pleasure.
You can see his work daily in the Columbus Dispatch. Next, a quick timeout, and when we come back, a closer look at Steve's teams to watch, plus the most promising athletes in Central Ohio. Stay tuned.
It's a fact. Students who are involved in activities are 3 times as likely to have a GPA of 3.0 or higher.
Okay, team, listen up. Germain Toyota is proud to be a sponsor of the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show. So come on, guys, let's show them what we got.
New cars. We'll serve you the best price on any new Toyota in town.
You're sure to get a hit with our prompt service and dependable parts.
Used cars. We'll tackle the competition with our huge selection.
So come to Germain Toyota.
Low prices.
The best selection.
Great service. It's just a short drive to Germain Toyota. Austin.
Oh, not the 41 Series D19 Custom Luxury Liner Convertible Coupe.
Cars. We know them. We love them.
It's okay. She'll be back in 3,000 miles.
Yeah, I know.
Cars. We know them. We love them.
It's okay. She'll be back in 3,000 miles.
Don't touch me.
Cars. We know them. We love them.
What does the word value mean at my McDonald's?
It's getting exactly what you ordered and then some.
Sometimes it's just getting an extra lift in your day.
Values are the little things that remind us of the big things.
It means doing more than what's expected, and that's why people come back.
And for another definition of value, check this out.
Come in for a double cheeseburger with bacon for just $1.29. Or for an everyday value, try a double cheeseburger for 99 cents.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Grades. Remember your grades.
If you don't have the grades, you can't play football. So most importantly, I would want to tell you is you gotta keep your grades in order to stay on the football field. And I think that's always forgotten. When you're talking to athletes, they always say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. The most important thing is the grades, because without the grades, you won't be able to play.
And welcome back to the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show. Each week, we'll profile some of the top athletes in Central Ohio, sponsored by McDonald's Restaurants. One to watch this season is Jesse Klein of Upper Arlington. Our Billy Shaw dropped in on a Golden Bears practice, and he has more.
Winning 13 games in a row last season, before finally being knocked out of the playoffs by Cincinnati Moeller, Upper Arlington has found many new stars. One who was named All-District Offensive Player of the Year, the Columbus Dispatch Back of the Year, running back Jesse Klein. As a junior, Klein rushed for more than 1,800 yards, averaging 8.4 yards a carry. He scored 29 touchdowns and 2 conversions for a total of 178 points. Including the postseason, Klein ran his numbers to well over 2,000 yards rushing and 33 touchdowns. Klein just committed to the Ohio State University.
Ohio State really won me over with the people there. And each person I met that was affiliated with Ohio State, whether it be coaches or whether it be academic advisors, and I think they're all dedicated to helping the students that go there.
Football is not the only thing Jesse is strong at.
I think that education is extremely important, as does a lot of people. But for me, I just believe that if you're going to try to be successful in something, then you should try to be successful in everything.
Klein leads more by example.
I'm not that vocal as far as, rah-rah. I think for me, I just go out and do my best, and hopefully it catches fire with the team and lead by example.
First-year head coach Daryl Main on Klein.
Well, Jesse, of course, everybody knows is a phenomenal athlete and in his own right, and I think one of the great dynamics that he possesses is he shows a tremendous leader, not only by his actions off-season, in-season, and how he plays the game with such a tenacity and fierceness, but also through the way he leads personally in terms of the way he talks to kids and the way he handles kids.
Upper Arlington lost most of its defensive starters to graduation, but has plenty of young talent ready to fill in. Optimism runs high as UA fans anticipate great success in 1998.
Thank you, Billy. Among the features you'll see every week on the High School Sports Show is a segment called The Big Game. This will be an important area matchup selected by the sports staff of the Columbus Dispatch. One of the teams you're likely to see featured at some point is Worthington-Kilbourne. Kilbourne's football team surprised some people last year on its way to the Division I state playoffs. Can they do it again this year without the element of surprise? We went to Kilbourne to find out.
The Wolves of Worthington-Kilbourne surprised Central Ohio football fans last season, winning their first 11 games before losing to Upper Arlington in playoff action. Head coach Jeff Gafford returns 3 key members of his backfield, Micah Failer at quarterback, and Ryan Sprague and Ben Rower at running backs. We asked Coach Gafford about the team's reaction to last year's 10-0 regular season.
Last year's seniors had never had a winning season, so for them to go from never having a winning season to a 10-0 season was phenomenal. I don't think their expectations were a 10-0 season. They wanted to win the league championship, but I think their first step was to have a winning season. That came quickly, and then they raised their sights.
The players know that expectations have been raised for their squad this season, and that Kilbourne will go from being the hunter to the hunted.
Last year we were more in the underdog role. We didn't have, people didn't expect as much out of us. But this year, definitely, with all the wins last year, kind of painted a big bullseye on our chest, and teams are definitely looking for us now.
This year, since we had the season we had last year, I think people know that we can win and have it in them.
I don't think we've really been too arrogant or anything, but we just know it has to be done, and hopefully we can get it done as long as everyone's healthy.
Kilbourne runs the option on offense because its line is not as big as most of their OCC opponents. Fortunately for the Wolves, their experience in the backfield should make it easier to run this very quick offense in 1998.
We really didn't understand it until about game 4 or 5 of our first year. Now, as a staff, we've been doing it now for 4 years. So these kids, they get it their first year, they know what they're supposed to do, and maybe how they're supposed to do it, but they don't really understand it until their second or third year.
For Worthington-Kilbourne, 1998 should be another successful season because losing indeed is not an option. For the Columbus Dispatch High School Sports Show, this is Kevin Rao reporting.
Granville football coach Mike Hensley may possess one of the most potent offensive units in this area. He is equipped with a trio of seniors who last year accounted for a combined total of nearly 4,000 yards. We went to Granville to get a look at how they're preparing for the '98 season.
In the town of Granville, there's a group of young men starving for a playoff berth. With a record of 9-1 last season, the Granville football team just missed the playoffs by losing to Fisher Catholic, a team who has haunted the Blue Aces for the past 4 seasons.
The only team in the league we've been unable to beat has been Fisher Catholic, so we've got to raise our level of play and practice to get to their level.
What will it take to get to the playoffs this season?
It's going to take a 10-0 season, and we have to beat Fisher Catholic, which is pretty much what the whole team is gunning for.
I mean, it's going to take a lot of teamwork, and we're just going to have to, go 10-0 and play our best ball.
This season may be different. With the conditioning program brought in by strength coach Jim Wright during the offseason, the Blue Aces will be well conditioned for the '98 season.
Here at Granville High School, we use a high-intensity training program. It's been developed through our efforts of learning various programs.
Head coach Mike Hensley says their chances this year are not as strong as last year.
Well, basically on paper this year, we're not as good as we were last year, but fortunately we play the game on grass and not on paper.
The young offensive line will need to step it up a notch, but with senior quarterback Scott McMullen, running back Nate Colon, and wideout David Randall all returning, the offense is ready to roll. On the other side of the ball,
our defense is probably going to be one of our great strengths this year.
With leadership from the seniors, look for another strong season from the Granville Blue Aces.
Grant Riverside Hospitals is lending the expert help of their staff of physicians to bring you each week helpful information to keep athletes healthy and in the game.
For athletes of all ages, a sports medicine tip brought to you by the sports medicine specialists at Grant Riverside.
Hello, I'm Dr. Larry Watson. ACL injuries are common in sports. ACL stands for anterior cruciate ligament. It is one of the 4 major ligaments of the knee. It sits in the center of the knee joint and keeps the tibia from moving too far forward on the femur. This injury usually occurs with a non-contact twisting injury, but it can also occur with a clip or hyperextension injury. The athlete usually feels or hears a pop, there's immediate swelling, there's significant pain, and the knee feels unstable. Unfortunately, the ACL does not heal without surgery. The good news is that with surgery and rehabilitation, the athlete can get back to full unlimited activity in sports in 4 to 6 months. The only prevention for this injury is a good conditioning and strengthening program.
For a Grant Riverside sports medicine specialist near you, call 4HEALTH.
Each week on the High School Sports Show, Germain Toyota will sponsor a segment in which we'll tell you about an individual who has overcome obstacles or long odds to become successful. We'll call this person our High School Sports Achiever. A good example of the recipient of this recognition would be the speedy running back Steve Blackledge told us about at the top of the show, Jerome Buckner of Briggs High School. Our Andrea Baylog visited with Buckner.
Athletic ability? Definitely. Size? Well, Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders have both proven that in the world of sports, size isn't everything. And now we can add Briggs running back Jerome Buckner to that list. At 5'8", 180 pounds, he led Central Ohio in rushing last season, and now he hopes to do it again.
People have told me that I'm too small, but they say I have the talent to make it to the next level or whatever. So I think if I just keep working at it, maybe one day I might grow an inch or two.
Jerome doesn't let his size stand in the way, but is he ever intimidated by that towering defensive line?
Sometimes I think about it like, oh my gosh, I'm going against like 6'2", 250-pound linebackers. That's 100 pounds more than I am.
Coach Mario Jackson sees Buckner as a player to lean on this season.
Jerome is going to be our go-to guy, really. I mean, he's a kid that